My family said my disabled son and I were too much of a downer for their all-expenses-paid resort vacation. Then my perfect sister asked for my emergency fund to cover her gambling debts, but she had no idea what I'd already set in motion. The WhatsApp notification lit up my phone like an accusation. There she was, my sister Simone, sprawled across first-class seats in designer clothes that probably cost more than my monthly rent. Champagne flute raised high. Caribbean, here we come. Blessed Annan family vacation. My name is Riley, and I haven't been invited on a family vacation in 3 years, not since the accident. Mom, Milo's voice carried from his bedroom. Can you help me with my shirt? I pocketed my phone and wheeled into his room, where my 10-year-old son struggled with his school uniform. His wheelchair was perfectly positioned by the bed just as we practiced. Got it, buddy. I helped him navigate the buttons. Remember, occupational therapy at 4 today. Can we get ice cream after? I kissed his forehead. If you promise to do your stretches without complaining. My phone buzzed again. And again, the family group chat exploded with responses. Living your best life, sis. Mom, first class is the only class. Jeremy, wait till you see the villa. Dad, I opened my laptop and clicked on a folder labeled Chrono Evidence. Inside were hundreds of files meticulously organized by date, videos, voice messages, medical bills, police reports, 2 years of careful documentation. Mom, Milo called again. You're doing that thing where you get quiet. I closed the laptop. Just thinking about work, honey. Let's get you to school. The morning routine was clockwork. Transfer to wheelchair, bathroom, breakfast, teeth, shoes. We'd mastered it like a dance, even if some days the music felt off key. As I loaded Milo's wheelchair into our modified van, Mrs. Peterson from next door waved. Riley, did you see the news about that drunk driver getting 20 years? Justice served. Right? My hands tightened on the wheelchair straps. Sometimes justice takes longer than we'd like. At Milo's school, I watched him wheel himself toward his friends. He was laughing, telling some joke that had them all giggling. My brave boy, who never complained about the life that was stolen from him. My phone rang. Simone's face filled the screen. Riley. Her voice cracked. I need you. I really messed up. What's wrong? I can't tell Mom and Dad. They'll kill me. I need money. 10,000. Please. You're my only hope. I sat in the van, letting her sob. The same sister who stumbled behind the wheel that night, who let our parents cover it up, who never once visited Milo in the hospital. 10,000? I kept my voice neutral. That's a lot of money, Simone. I know. But, you got that inheritance from Aunt Martha, right? Please, Riley, I'm in trouble, real trouble. Through the windshield, I watched Milo navigate the school's wheelchair ramp. The ramp our parents refused to help pay for. What kind of trouble? I can't say over the phone. Can we meet, please? I'm desperate. I opened the Chrono Evidence folder on my phone, adding a voice memo. Simone call. Money request. April 15th. Where are you now? I asked. Aren't you boarding your flight? I had to stay behind. Jeremy doesn't know. Nobody knows. Riley, these people, they're dangerous. I need the money by tomorrow. My finger hovered over a document titled Casino Debts, SF. I'd been building this case piece by piece, waiting for the right moment, waiting for her to crack. Okay, I said softly. Let's meet. Tell me where. She named a coffee shop downtown, her voice thick with relief. Thank you, Riley. I knew I could count on you. You've always been the good one. I ended the call and opened my messages to Emerson. It's happening. She finally slipped. The response was immediate. The PI found something big. Come to the office ASAP. I started the van, glancing one last time at Milo through the school windows. He was showing his friends some new trick with his wheelchair, his smile bright enough to light up the room. My sister's Caribbean selfie still glowed on my phone. Such a perfect life. Such a perfect lie. I thought of the dashcam footage the PI mentioned last week, supposedly recovered from that night. The night Simone got behind the wheel, giggling, while Jeremy egged her on. The night they left, my son paralyzed and drove away. I typed one last message to my sister. Of course I'll help. That's what family is for. Then I drove to meet Emerson. ready to start dismantling the house of cards my family built on my son's broken bones. Simone was already at the coffee shop when I arrived, her designer sunglasses hiding what I assumed were tears. She'd chosen a corner table, far from windows. Smart move for someone hiding from debt collectors. "You look terrible," I said, sliding into the seat across from her. She pulled off her sunglasses, revealing mascara-stained cheeks. "I haven't slept in 3 days. Tell me what's going on. I need you to promise you won't judge me." Her hands shook as she clutched her untouched latte. "And you can't tell anyone, especially not Mom and Dad. Like how they didn't tell anyone about the accident." Her head snapped up. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing. Just tell me about the money." She leaned forward, voice dropping to a whisper. "I've been gambling. Online mostly. Started small, you know? But then I found this exclusive site, high-stakes stuff. I was winning at first, Riley. God, I was winning so much. Until you weren't. I borrowed money. From people you don't want to borrow from." She grabbed my hand. "They're threatening to tell Jeremy, to tell everyone. They'll hurt me, Riley. Please." I extracted my hand from hers. "How much do you really owe?" 10,000 would cover the immediate total, Simone. "How much?" She stared into her coffee. 150,000. I let that number hang between us. The same amount our parents offered me to sign that gag order after the accident. The money I'd refused. "Does Jeremy know anything?" "No. God, no. He thinks I'm at the resort with Mom and Dad. I told him I'd catch up tomorrow, that I had a charity event today." My phone buzzed. A text from Emerson. "You need to see this footage. Now, I need time to think about this," I told Simone. "The inheritance money isn't just sitting in my account. I don't have time." Her voice cracked. "They want the first payment by midnight. Please, Riley, I've never needed anyone like I need you right now." I stood up. "That's not true, Simone. You needed me the night you got behind the wheel drunk. You needed me when Milo was in surgery. You needed me every time you chose to look away." Her face went pale. "Why are you bringing that up now?" "Because debts always come due. One way or another." I left her there, crying into her expensive latte, and drove straight to Emerson's office. She was waiting with Adam, my lawyer, both looking grim. "Watch this," Emerson said, turning her monitor toward me. The grainy dashcam footage showed a familiar street, Simone stumbling out of the restaurant, Jeremy's arm around her waist, both laughing. "I can totally drive." Simone's voice slurred but clear. "Show them how it's done, babe." Jeremy, pushing the keys into her hand. I gripped the desk as the footage continued, the swerving, the impact. Then Jeremy's voice. Oh shit, drive, just drive." Adam paused the video. This was recovered from a rideshare driver's dashcam. "He was parked across the street that night, never came forward because your father's firm had connections to his employer. But now he's retired," Emerson added. And feeling guilty, my phone lit up with texts from Simone. "Please, call me back. I'm begging you. They're going to hurt me." "What's our next move?" I asked Adam. "We file tomorrow. The gambling debts actually help us. Shows a pattern of reckless behavior. The timing's perfect." I thought of Milo, who would be finishing school soon, who still asks sometimes why Aunt Simone never visited anymore. "Do it," I said. "File everything." Emerson touched my arm. "Are you sure? Once this starts, my family spent 3 years pretending nothing happened. They holiday in the Caribbean while I take my son to physical therapy. They deserve everything that's coming." My phone rang. Mom's face appearing on screen. I answered on speaker. "Riley, your sister is hysterical. What did you say to her?" "Nothing she didn't need to hear. She says you threatened her. After everything we've done for you, everything you've done for me?" I laughed. "Tell me, Mom, how's the resort? Is the view as nice as it looks in Simone's selfies?" "Don't be bitter, Riley. You know we couldn't bring Milo. The resort isn't equipped." I met Emerson's eyes as she handed me the final lawsuit documents. "You're right, Mom. It's time everyone was properly equipped to handle the truth." I hung up and signed my name on the dotted line, remembering Simone's words from the coffee shop. "I've never needed anyone like I need you right now." She was wrong about that too. She needed me to finally make her pay. I watched the dashcam footage for the 6th time in Adam's office, each viewing making my hands shake harder. The way Simone laughed before the impact. The sound of screeching tires. Jeremy's voice urging her to flee. The statute of limitations hasn't run out, Adam said, closing his laptop. And with this evidence, plus the gambling debts showing an ongoing pattern of reckless behavior, my phone buzzed. Simone again. They're sending people to my house, please. I'm scared. She's spiraling, Emerson said, reading over my shoulder. How much do you want to bet those gambling debts are way more than she's admitted? Call Uncle Spencer, I told her. He's always been the family gossip. Tell him you're a concerned friend who overheard something at the country club about Simone's gambling. Emerson grinned, already dialing. She put it on speaker. Spencer speaking. Hi. I'm so sorry to bother you. Emerson's voice dripped with concern. I'm a member at Rolling Hills, and I overheard something disturbing about your niece Simone. About some dangerous people she's involved with. What kind of people? His interest was immediate. Oh, I shouldn't say more. I know how respected your family is. I'd hate for anything to damage that reputation. 20 minutes after hanging up, my father called. What's this about your sister gambling? His voice was tight with anger. Why don't you ask her? I kept my tone neutral. Oh wait, she's supposed to be with you in the Caribbean. Don't get smart with me, Riley. If you know something, like how you knew something the night of Milo's accident, that kind of something. Silence crackled over the line. We did what was best for everyone, he finally said. The settlement, the hush money, you mean? The money I refused? You're still angry. I understand that. But dragging up the past? I laughed. Dad, I live the past every day. Every time I lift Milo into his wheelchair. Every time he asks why his legs won't work. Every time Simone posts another perfect Instagram photo pretending she's not a drunk driver who destroyed her nephew's life. That's enough, he barked. What do you want? I want justice. Justice, he scoffed. You want revenge? Maybe they're the same thing. Adam gestured at his watch. The court filing deadline was approaching. Dad, I said softly, remember when I was 7 and you taught me to swim? You said the trick was to not fight the water, to work with it until it carried you where you needed to go. What's your point? I'm not fighting anymore. I'm letting the truth carry us all where we need to go. I hung up as Emerson's computer pinged. An email from Palm's insurance company. Preliminary settlement offer, personal injury claim. 7 figures, Adam whispered, scanning the document. They're scared. My phone exploded with texts from Simone. They're outside my house. Why aren't you answering? I'll tell everyone you abandoned me. You're just jealous of my life. I forwarded the texts to Adam, who added them to our evidence file. Each desperate message was another nail in her coffin. Mom's calling, I told them, showing the screen. Answer it, Adam advised. Record everything. Riley? Mom's voice was shrill. Your sister says you're threatening her, that you're trying to destroy the family. No, Mom. The family destroyed itself the night they left my son bleeding on the pavement. We paid for his medical bills. We tried to help. You tried to buy my silence. There's a difference. What do you want from us? She was crying now. Money? Is that it? Your father will write a check. I want Simone to say it, to admit what she did. To look Milo in the eye and tell him why she drove away. That would kill her career, her marriage, everything she's built. Everything she built on my son's broken bones. Silence. The lawsuit files in 30 minutes, I said. Maybe call your perfect daughter and tell her to prepare for some real consequences for once. I ended the call and looked at Adam. Do it. He pressed send on the court filing. Somewhere across town my sister's phone would be lighting up with legal notifications. My parents would be getting frantic calls from their lawyers. Jeremy would be wondering why his wife never made it to the Caribbean. What now? Emerson asked. My phone buzzed one final time. A text from Simone. You were always jealous. Always the victim. I should have driven back and finished the job. I showed the message to Adam, who added it to our file. Now I smiled. Now we watch it all burn. I might be able to help you, I told Simone over the phone. But I need to know exactly what kind of trouble you're in. She'd been calling non-stop since the lawsuit notification, alternating between threats and desperate pleas. I put her on speaker while Emerson recorded. "You do that?" Hope crept into her voice. After everything? Family is family, right? That's what Mom always says." "God, Riley, thank you. I knew you'd understand. Tell me about the gambling, all of it." She hesitated. It's complicated. Try me. There's this site, playersparadise.com. Private tables, high stakes. I was winning at first, I swear. But then, this guy. He said he could get me better odds if I played through his private server. And you believed him? He seemed legitimate. He had references, other players. She paused. I lost. Big. Then he offered to let me play on credit. How much, Simone? 300,000. I let the number hang there. Twice what she'd admitted at the coffee shop. "These people," she continued, "they know where I live. They know about Jeremy, about Mom and Dad. One of them said they'd break my legs if I didn't pay." "Like Milo's legs? What? Why would you?" Her voice hardened. "Is that what this is about? You're still obsessed with the accident? The hit and run, you mean? Stop it. I need help. And you're playing games. No games, just truth." Finally, my other phone lit up. Jeremy calling. I switched lines. "What the hell is going on?" He demanded. "I'm getting calls about a lawsuit? Ask your wife about the gambling debts. Ask her where she really is right now." "What gambling?" He stopped. "Simone's not at the resort? Check your joint accounts, Jeremy." "Check them now." I heard typing, then a sharp intake of breath. "Oh my God. Oh my fucking God." "While you're at it, ask her about the dashcam footage from the night of the accident. The one where you told her to drive away from my son." The line went dead. Emerson's computer pinged. An email from a local news station requesting comment on the lawsuit. It was starting. My phone buzzed again. "Simone? Jeremy's threatening divorce. You ruined everything." I texted back. "No. You did that yourself. One bad choice at a time." Then came the voicemail. Simone, sobbing. "I'm going to kill myself. I'm in the bathroom with pills. This is your fault. All your fault." I forwarded it to Emerson, who made a call. 5 minutes later, she confirmed. "Police did a welfare check. She's at Starbucks, very much alive, making a scene." Mom was next. "Your sister is having a breakdown in public. Are you happy now? Was I happy when Milo had his breakdown, when he realized he'd never walk again? That's different. You're right. That was real." The calls kept coming. "Uncle Spencer, do you know what this will do to the family name? Aunt Patricia. Your poor sister, how could you?" I blocked them all, one by one, like cutting dead branches from a dying tree. Adam called with updates. The lawsuit was gaining traction. Local news had picked up the story. Social media was buzzing. Then came Simone's Instagram post. A perfectly staged photo of pills scattered across a marble counter, caption, "Goodbye, cruel world. I'm sorry I wasn't perfect enough for some people." Comments flooded in. "Stay strong. We love you. Your sister is so toxic." I screenshot everything for the file. Emerson texted, "Check Twitter." Simone Fernandez was trending. Her followers were split, half supporting her victim narrative, half digging up old posts about her luxury lifestyle. Someone had found a video from 3 months ago. Simone, drunk at a charity gala, joking about, "That time I totally crashed my car but Daddy fixed it." The dominoes were falling. My phone lit up with an unknown number. "Is this Riley?" A man's voice, professional. "I'm from TMZ. We'd like to talk about your sister's hit-and-run incident." "No comment," I said, then paused. "But you might want to look into playersparadise.com. Ask about their high roller tables." More calls, more messages, more chaos. Finally, a text from Jeremy. I checked the accounts. She emptied everything, even Milo's trust fund. I smiled. We'd moved that money months ago, waiting for exactly this. Emerson brought me coffee as we watched Simone's carefully curated world implode in real time. "You okay?" she asked. I showed her my phone, a photo Milo had just sent from his school's science fair. He was beaming, proudly displaying his first-place ribbon. "I'm perfect," I said. For the first time in years, everything's exactly how it should be. My phone buzzed one last time. A text from Simone. "Please, I'll do anything." I replied, "I know. That's the problem." The family estate looked exactly as I remembered. Pristine lawns, marble columns, suffocating perfection. Mom's text had been clear. Family intervention. 7 p.m. Be there. I wheeled Milo up the newly installed ramp. Funny how they'd managed that just hours after the lawsuit made headlines. "You sure about this, buddy?" I asked him. He squeezed my hand. "I'm not scared of them anymore, Mom." Inside, they were all arranged in the formal living room like actors in a bad play. Mum perched on her favorite armchair, Dad standing behind her. Jeremy slouched in a corner, avoiding everyone's eyes, and Simone, mascara stained and trembling, sat in the center of the sofa. "Riley?" Mom stood. "And Milo? We didn't expect my son at a family meeting?" Simone wouldn't look at Milo. She never did. "Please, sit." Dad gestured. "We need to discuss this situation like adults." I positioned Milo's wheelchair next to me on the Persian rug that probably cost more than his last surgery. "Simone," Mum began, "we're here because we love you. Your gambling addiction." "Oh, now it's an addiction," I interrupted. "Not just her being spirited or living life to the fullest, like when she drove drunk." "That's not what this is about," Mom snapped. "It's exactly what this is about." I pulled out a manila envelope. "Everything's connected." Simone finally spoke, voice cracking. "What's in there?" "The truth. Every receipt, every text, every security camera footage from that night. The dashcam video of you laughing while you drove away from my son." "You're lying," she whispered. I slid out a photo, her car, front end damaged, hidden in Uncle Spencer's garage the day after the accident. "Spencer promised he destroyed those," Dad said quietly. "Spencer got sloppy after his third divorce. Amazing what his ex-wife kept in her files." Jeremy pushed off from the wall. "I should go." "Sit down," I ordered. "You're in these photos too. Remember holding Simone's hair back while she vomited in the garage? Right after you told her to flee the scene." He sank back down. "What do you want?" Mom's voice shook. "Money?" "We can pay." I want her to look at him. I pointed at Milo. "I want her to finally look at what she did." Simone's eyes darted to Milo, then away. "Look at him." "I can't," she screamed. "Why not?" "Because I was supposed to be perfect." She hurled her wineglass against the wall. "The perfect daughter, the perfect wife, the perfect social media influencer. And I ruined it. Is that what you want to hear?" Milo spoke up, his voice clear and strong. "I forgive you, Aunt Simone." The room froze. "What?" she whispered. "I forgive you. Not because you deserve it, but because hating you is exhausting." Simone crumpled, sliding to the floor. "I'm sorry, God, I'm so sorry." "Sorry doesn't fix his legs," I said, pulling out more documents. "But this might help others." Dad recognized the paperwork first. "You're not just suing us. You're going after the country club that served her alcohol, the valet who gave her keys back, our lawyer who covered it up, everyone who helped hide the truth. Every single one." Mum lunged forward, hand raised to slap me. I caught her wrist. "Try it," I said softly. "Give me one more thing to add to the lawsuit." Jeremy's phone buzzed. He checked it, face paling. TMZ just ran the story. With the dashcam footage, Simone screamed, scrambling for her phone. Her Instagram followers were already dropping by the thousands. "Your choice," I told them all. "We can settle this quietly, with a full confession, compensation for Milo's ongoing care, and a substantial donation to drunk driving prevention programs. Or what?" Dad demanded. "Or I let the media dig deeper. They're very interested in the family that covered up a hit and run. I hear Netflix is already calling about rights to the story." Mom collapsed into her chair. "You're destroying us." "No," Milo said. "You destroyed yourselves." "Mum's just turning on the lights." I handed each of them a document. "Sign the settlement by midnight, or tomorrow I give my first television interview." "You wouldn't," Simone breathed. I stood, gripping Milo's wheelchair handles. 3 years ago, I begged you to take responsibility. You chose image over truth. Now, I choose justice over family. We turned to leave. Behind us, I heard papers rustling, Mom crying, Simone's broken whispers. At the door, Milo looked back. By the way, Aunt Simone, those casino guys you're scared of, Mom already reported them to the FBI. You're welcome. We left them there, surrounded by their shattered perfection, finally facing the truth they'd tried so hard to bury. My phone buzzed. Adam texting. TMZ story, hitting 1M views. You ready for tomorrow? I looked at Milo, who smiled and nodded. Ready. I typed back. Time to tell our story. The morning after the intervention, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Justice for Milo was trending. Simone's Instagram followers had dropped by 500,000 overnight. 3 brands had already dropped her sponsorship deals. Mom? Milo called from the living room. We're on TV. The local news was running the dashcam footage on a loop. Simone stumbling to the car. Jeremy laughing, the impact, the escape. My phone rang. Jeremy, make it stop, he pleaded. My company's board is meeting this afternoon. They're talking about moral character clauses in my contract. Karma's interesting, isn't it? I'll testify, he said quickly. Against Simone. About everything. The drinking, the cover-up, your father's bribes to the police. Send it in writing to Adam, every detail. He hung up as another call came in. Simone's agent. Listen, she started. This could work for everyone. Simone does a tearful interview, admits her mistakes, starts a foundation for drunk driving victims. People love redemption stories. My son's paralysis isn't your client's redemption arc. Think about it. Oprah would I hung up. Emerson arrived with coffee and news. Your parents' country club suspended their membership. Your dad's law firm partners are calling an emergency meeting, and Simone's being dropped from the hospital charity board. My phone buzzed with a text from Mum. Your father's having chest pains. Are you happy now? I showed Emerson, who snorted. Classic manipulation. Want to bet he's perfectly fine? Mum? Milo wheeled over. Someone's at the door. Through the window, I saw Simone standing on our porch. No makeup, wearing sweatpants. I'd never seen her like this. Stay here, I told Milo, and opened the door. They're going to arrest me, she blurted out. The police reopened the case. Jeremy's talking to them. Good. Please. She grabbed my arm. I'll lose everything. Like Milo lost his ability to walk. I'll do anything. I'll confess. I'll pay whatever you want. You had 3 years to do that. She sank to her knees. They're saying I could get 5 years. Actual prison. Me? The average sentence for hit and run with serious injury is 8 to 15 years, I said. Dad's legal connections got you a deal last time. Not anymore. Riley, please, we're sisters. We stopped being sisters the moment you drove away. My phone buzzed. Adam calling. I left her crying on the porch. The DA wants to meet, he said. They're considering criminal charges against your father too. Obstruction of justice. Witness tampering. Good. Riley? He hesitated. Your mother's doing an interview right now. Local news. It's not good. I switched on the TV. There was Mum, perfectly coiffed, tears strategically falling. My daughters were always so close, she was saying, but Riley, after the accident, she changed, became bitter, obsessed with revenge. We tried to help, offered money, but she wanted to destroy our family. Milo wheeled closer. Grandma's lying again. Yes, she is. Why do they keep lying? Because the truth hurts more than they can handle. My phone exploded with notifications. Mom's interview was backfiring spectacularly. Social media was shredding her, calling out her victim blaming and manipulation. Another text from Jeremy. Simone overdosed. She's at Memorial Hospital. Real or fake this time? Emerson asked, reading over my shoulder. I called the hospital. Hi. My sister Simone was supposedly brought in for an overdose? Oh. Mrs. Fernandez. She's in the cafeteria getting coffee. Would you like me to transfer you? I hung up. The doorbell rang again. This time it was Dad, looking aged and desperate. The firm voted, he said quietly. They're asking me to retire. 30 years of partnership. Actions have consequences. I was protecting our family. No. I showed him my phone, a photo of Milo in his hospital bed after the accident. You were protecting your reputation. There's a difference. He stared at the photo, finally seeing what he'd tried so hard to ignore. "What do you want?" he asked, defeated. "I want you all to face what you did, really face it. No more cover-ups, no more lies, no more perfect family facade. And then? Then justice takes its course, for all of you." He nodded slowly, turned to leave, then stopped. "For what it's worth, I'm sorry. Not for protecting Simone, but for failing you. For failing Milo." "I know," I said. "But sorry isn't enough anymore." I closed the door and held Milo close, watching through the window as my father walked away, shoulders bent under the weight of consequences too long delayed. My phone buzzed one last time. "The DA's office, press conference tomorrow. Be ready." We were ready. We'd been ready for 3 years. The courthouse steps were packed with reporters. Milo gripped my hand as we made our way through the crowd, his wheelchair expertly handled by Emerson. "Mrs. Fernandez, any comment on your sister's arrest? Is it true your father's firm covered up the accident?" Adam met us at the entrance. "Simone's inside. She took the plea deal." "How long?" I asked. 3 years, with possibility of parole after 18 months, plus restitution. That's it? She agreed to testify against your father. The DA's more interested in the cover-up conspiracy than the original crime. Inside, the courtroom was standing room only. Simone sat at the defendant's table, wearing a beige dress that probably cost more than my car. No makeup, no jewelry. Her lawyer had clearly coached her on appearing humble. Mom and Dad sat in the front row, both looking shell-shocked. Jeremy was nowhere to be seen. "All rise." The judge entered and the proceedings began. I squeezed Milo's shoulder as Simone approached the podium. "Would you please state your name for the record?" "Simone Marie Fernandez." "And you understand the terms of your plea agreement?" "Yes, Your Honor." "Please tell the court in your own words what happened on the night of April 12, 3 years ago." Simone gripped the podium. I was drinking at La Maison restaurant celebrating a new sponsorship deal. I had too much champagne. Jeremy and I were arguing about who should drive. And then I got behind the wheel. Jeremy was encouraging me, saying I was fine. We were both so stupid." She wiped her eyes. "I didn't see the kid on his bike until it was too late." "The kid has a name," I said loudly. The judge looked at me. "Ma'am, please." "His name is Milo," Simone continued, voice shaking. "My nephew. I hit him, and I drove away. Jeremy told me to keep driving, said Dad would fix everything. And he did. They all did. They helped me hide what I'd done." The courtroom buzzed with whispers. "And the subsequent cover-up?" "Dad paid off the investigating officer. Mum convinced Riley to keep quiet. Offered her money. Uncle Spencer hid my car. Everyone knew, but no one said anything." "Why come forward now?" Simone looked at me for the first time. "Because my sister was braver than all of us. She refused to let us bury the truth." The judge reviewed the plea agreement. "Miss Fernandez, this court sentences you to 3 years in state prison with eligibility for parole after 18 months. You will pay restitution of $2 million to the victim's family. Do you understand?" "Yes, Your Honor. Additionally, you will provide full testimony against all parties involved in the cover-up conspiracy. Failure to cooperate will void your plea agreement." 2 officers approached with handcuffs. "Wait!" Simone turned to us. "Milo, I'm so sorry." "Riley, take her into custody," the judge ordered. As they led Simone away, Mom stood up screaming. "This isn't justice, this is revenge." "Mrs. Marshall," the judge warned, "control yourself or be held in contempt." Dad pulled her back down, his face ashen. His own arraignment was scheduled for next week. Outside, the media frenzy had doubled. Cameras flashed as Simone was led to a waiting police car. "Riley?" A reporter thrust a microphone at me. "How do you feel about the sentence?" I looked at Milo, who nodded. "My son will never walk again." 3 years seems light. But this was never about punishment. It was about truth. No more lies. No more cover-ups. And your parents? Will you support their prosecution? Actions have consequences, even for the rich and powerful. Emerson helped us navigate through the crowd to our van. As we pulled away, I saw Mom crying on the courthouse steps, Dad trying to shield her from cameras. "Mom?" Milo asked quietly. "Are you okay?" I touched his cheek. I'm perfect, buddy. How about ice cream? Can we get some for Aunt Simone? For when she's allowed visitors? My throat tightened. Yeah, we can do that. My phone buzzed. A text from Jeremy. Turning myself in tomorrow. Milo deserves the whole truth. I'm sorry it took so long. Then from Dad. The firm's internal investigation found evidence of other cover-ups. I'm cooperating fully. You were right. It's time for truth. Emerson showed me her phone. Simone's perky social media empire had been replaced with a single post. 3 years ago, I made the worst mistake of my life. Then I made it worse by hiding it. To my nephew Milo, I'm finally facing what I did. I hope someday you can forgive me. To my sister Riley, thank you for being strong enough to break our family's cycle of lies. At the ice cream shop, Milo got chocolate with extra sprinkles. As he ate, a young mother approached our table. Are you Riley? I saw you on the news. My brother was hit by a drunk driver last year. Thank you for fighting. Thank you for showing us that the truth matters. I watched her walk away, then looked at my son, my brave, beautiful boy, who had taught me that justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just quietly insists on being heard. The moving truck pulled away from our new house, leaving Milo and me standing in the driveway, single story, wheelchair accessible, with a garden out back. Everything we needed, nothing we didn't. Ready to see your room? I asked. Race you there. He wheeled ahead, expertly navigating the wide hallways we'd specifically designed. My phone buzzed. Emerson sending a news update. Dad's sentencing was complete. 18 months for conspiracy and obstruction. Mom got probation and community service. The family's reputation was in tatters, but at least the truth was finally out. Mom? Milo called. There's a letter. On his new desk sat a cream-colored envelope. Prison stationery. Want me to read it? I asked. He nodded. Dear Milo, I began. The prison library has a program where we read to kids at the children's hospital, kids like you were, after the accident. Every time I read to them, I think about what I took from you, what my cowardice cost our family. The doorbell rang. Emerson stood there with a box of pizza in a folder. The foundation paperwork is ready, she said, following us to the kitchen. Just need your signature to make it official. I signed where she pointed. The Milo Marshall Foundation for Accident Victims was now real. Did you tell him about the first recipient? She asked. Milo looked up from his pizza. Tell me what? I pulled out my phone, showing him the application. Remember Tommy from your physical therapy group? His family is struggling with medical bills. We're going to help them. His eyes lit up. Really? Can I tell him? It's your foundation, buddy. You can do whatever you want. My phone buzzed again. A text from Jeremy. The divorce is final. Signed over my half of everything to Milo's foundation. It's not enough, but it's a start. Another message popped up. Mum, the country club board meeting went as expected. They're renaming the annual charity gala. It's now the Milo Marshall Benefit for Accident Survivors. I showed Emerson, who snorted. Amazing how generous people get when their reputations are at stake. As long as the money helps someone, I don't care why they give it. Milo wheeled to the window overlooking his garden. Can we plant those special flowers? The ones that bloom at night? Moonflowers? Sure. Aunt Simone used to have those, he said quietly. Remember? In her fancy garden? I knelt beside his wheelchair. Do you want to visit her? He nodded. She writes me every week. Her letters aren't fake anymore. They're real, like this house, I said. No more pretending, no more perfect facades. The doorbell rang again. This time it was Adam, carrying files. Final paperwork from the civil suit, he said. The insurance company paid out everything. Your parents' firm is settling, even the restaurant where Simone was drinking that night. Good, I said. It all goes to the foundation. Mom? Milo called from his room. Can you help me hang this? He held up a framed photo. Our old family portrait from before the accident. Everyone's smiling. Perfect. Fake. Are you sure that's the one you want? He shook his head and pulled out another photo, him and me at his science fair. Both grinning real grins, his wheelchair visible and unashamed. This is better, he said. This is true. My phone lit up with a final text from Simone. My cellmate's daughter is paralyzed. I'm teaching her mom about resources, support groups, everything I should have learned from Milo. Thank you for making me face this. For making me better. I deleted the message without responding. Some bridges take longer to rebuild. Hey Mom? Milo called. Can we order one of those special gaming chairs? The kind that lets me play basketball in virtual reality? Already did. Should be here next week. He beamed. Our new house is perfect. Not perfect, I corrected. Real. There's a difference. Emerson helped us unpack boxes while Adam sorted paperwork. Outside, the moving truck had left tracks in our new driveway. Marks that would fade with time, like all scars do. My phone buzzed one last time. A message from an unknown number. Saw your story online. My brother's drunk driving case got buried by rich lawyers. Can you help? I showed it to Adam, who nodded. The Foundation's legal aid program starts next month. I typed back, yes. Truth matters. Justice matters. Let's talk. Milo wheeled over with his science homework. Mom, will you help me with my project? It's about action and reaction, how everything we do has consequences. I hugged him close, breathing in the scent of his hair. Yeah, buddy. I know exactly what you mean. We sat together in our real house, with our real lives, finally free from the weight of other people's lies. Not perfect. Not pristine. Just true. And that was everything.